Welcome to the RocketGirl Show. I'm Belinda Sandor, also known as Rocket Girl. Let's get started. Welcome to the RocketGirl Show. I'm Belinda Sandor. If you're joining us for the first time, I am the founder of the VA Connection, where I coach and mentor established and aspiring virtual assistants to create, grow, and scale their businesses as virtual assistants. And I work with my students in my free online classroom, my courses, and my coaching program. So today I'll be your host for the RocketGirl Show, my weekly live stream show that airs every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. So come on in, tell me where you're coming in from. I'd love to hear from you. And each episode of the RocketGirl Show is designed to be packed with useful information about what it takes to be a successful VA. And these tips are for you if you've been a VA for a while or you're just starting out. All right. So we are streaming all over the place. We are streaming on Facebook. We are streaming on Twitter. We are streaming on YouTube, LinkedIn, all the places. And if you're watching us on YouTube, please ring the bell and subscribe so you never miss out on a training. We have over 700 videos over on YouTube, so check out our channel. All right, awesome, good. So today we're going to talk about some practical tips when stress starts happening in your business. All right, because the thing is about being a business owner. There's always stress. There's always something coming up, and we really need to learn how to lean into that so we can be happy and successful at the same time, right? So it's easy to get discouraged when you're first starting a business. The tendency is to want to have several clients right away, and many people get impatient when that doesn't happen right away. And I want to tell you something. You know, when these thoughts occur to you, it's important to know that there's no overnight success when starting a business as a virtual assistant. You know, any service-based business, no matter what it is, a financial planner, a coach, a VA, it's not that you're doing anything wrong. It just doesn't happen like that. And the thing is if you were to get 3 new clients the first week that you were figuring this all out, it would feel like you were drowning, because there are things and adjustments that need to be made as you bring on your clients. So it's actually better to bring, one on at a time. And, your instinct for wanting the clients is 100% right on, because getting clients and getting paid is the measure of success, right? In a lot of people in business. But I want you to think about the pace. All right. I want you to think about the pace. So during the 13 years, I was the first full-time virtual assistant. I consistently brought on 24 new clients a year. And that is on average of, 2 a month. And that pace kept the workflow at a consistent level. It kept my income predictable. And because clients are going to come and go, right? They're going to come and go and start and stop, and projects rarely go as expected, It's just a fact of life. So if you want your business to thrive, you must consistently take action steps and move your business forward by bringing in new clients. All right. So I want to talk about how to do that. It's very simple. It's very simple. And some of you, I know, I've heard you speaking about, I just need one more client. And then I'll be fully booked. But the thing is that, like I said, I want to say this again, that can change at any moment. I had a client who paid me consistently, $15,000, $16,000 a year. He just sold his business, so there's no way to see that. But what happens though, when people come and go, is if you can consistently bring in new people, it balances out so that you have the amount of billable hours you want every single week. Because that's the key. It's not the number of clients, it's the number of billable hours that determines whether or not you reach your financial goals. Okay, good. Now, the first thing that I want you to do, we've talked about this a lot. We talked about it in the Kickstart training, is I want you to learn how to talk about your business in a clear, simple way. When someone asks about your business, it's important that you memorize what you're going to say, you practice, and you make it conversational, right? So there's an article about exactly how to do this over on the blog. So check it out, thevaconnection.com. Just click on the blog. And put in the search, talking about your work or learning to talk about your work. And the thing about it is here's what I want you to say. If someone says, "What do you do for work?" I'm a virtual assistant. I work with entrepreneurs and I help them with all the admin pieces of their work, like email newsletters, website updates, and PowerPoint presentations. And then if you've been through any of my trainings, you know about this, then you stop talking, because what happens is we blather on. And I know you want to wing this. I know you do. Nobody wants to practice this. Nobody wants to say it like that. They want to wing it. But what happens is when you wing it, we usually talk way too much and we confuse the person that we're talking to, and they have no idea what we're talking about, and we're likely overwhelming them. And we might sound like we know, like it sounds pretty good, but it's probably not, right? It's probably not. And so the thing is that we want people to be able to remember it so that they will either hire us themselves or tell someone else about us. Think about how many times people said, just here's an example, Greg's tractor's overheating. Immediately, I didn't go to the phone book. There is no phone book. Okay, I'm old. I didn't go to Google. What I did was I texted the guy who cut our field and the guy who's going to dig a ditch for us. Those are the people that know where to get a Kubota serviced, okay? Because like they've lived here forever and they know which guy is the best guy to fix the tractor, right? I have no idea. And that's how it works. So really, because I'm clear about what they do and how they can help us, that's who I ask the opinion of. So keep that in mind. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is this concept of making marketing a big deal. I know when I was in corporate, I thought about marketing as this like department down the hall. I didn't really understand what they were doing, but they were always trying to figure out messaging and branding and all this stuff. And I want you to just not make it a big deal at all. In order to get clients, people need to know about your business. But being informative is way different from selling, and you don't have to sell. Think about it this way, when you meet someone at a cocktail party or a tailgate, right, and they say they're a dentist, it's not likely that they're going to ask to look in your mouth, right? They're not going to ask to look in your mouth and start talking to you about why you need a crown, right? You don't want to do that either, right? You don't want to do that either. You're just making a statement. I'm a virtual assistant, right? And, the thing that's interesting is, it can happen very organically. So every day I walk 4 miles outside. And every day almost that I've walked since I got to our new home, I've met someone because people are in the yard. And I'm very brave. Now I'm confident that it's okay, but I was a little scared at first. And I would walk over to where they are, and I don't walk over to them in the yard. I walk over to the edge of their yard and I say, "Hi, I'm your new neighbor." And then usually what happens is they say, "Oh, wow." They walk over to me and we have a conversation. Well, that happened twice yesterday. And one of the women, she owns a auto repair business. They do inspections. I looked at her website. I've seen the trucks around town. She looks like a very successful business, been doing it for 20 years. And so she mentioned what she did. She didn't go into we're the best. She didn't do a commercial. There was no slogans, no lingo flying around. She told me the name of her business. And I asked her a question about this light that's on in our car. Didn't she think it was going to pass inspection? She's like, "I got you. We'll handle it." So she's solving my problem. That's all I want to know. I don't need to see any data from her. Like I talked to her. I got a sense of trust from her. And we talked about networking a little bit. We were talking about how it's done. So what she did, instead of trying to sell me, is I asked her, "Where do people network around here?" I said, "I'm not really looking for business. What I'm looking for are to make new friends." She said, "Oh, I'm going to invite you to newcomers. And I bet you anything before the next meeting, there'll be an email in my inbox and we'll start the relationship that's going to lead potentially to me working with her, or, her working with me." And, that's how it's done. Or maybe her niece in Chicago wants to be a VA and she joins VA school, right? You never know how that's going to happen. So you don't want to make it a big deal. You just want to make it that you're sharing information. It's much nicer, right? It's much easier. And then the third thing is, and please put your questions in the comments. I'd love to answer them. The next thing, and what you're thinking about what I'm saying, you need to spend less time thinking and more time doing. doing is what gets you, what gets the result. And I know that the voices can be in your head and they can be doubting you and all the things, and it can really slow down your progress. But if you can just keep going with the next thing and the next thing and ask for help. And for those of you who are in the VIP club and VA school, you have so many people you can ask, including me, to get, to keep going, because it really is a slow and steady wins the race situation. So keep that in mind. It's not all about having it all done in one day. It's about, today I'm going to update my LinkedIn. Tomorrow I'm going to get a headshot taken. The next day I'm going to do this. And by the end of the week, you've accomplished something that wasn't there before. That's really how it works. Okay. Now keep in mind that, that your success is up to you, not up to your clients, and I know very well that starting a business is scary, and I know it's challenging, right? I remember, I remember, but I also know that you can break this down into bite-sized pieces, like chunks, and follow my advice, and you will have clients coming in consistently. So learn how to talk about your business, practice it. Stop making marketing a big deal. It's really just letting people know what you do, right? And then jump into action, and you'll be surprised how quickly clients will come. And the other thing I want to say is, I doubt that you'll ever feel ready. So if you're waiting to feel ready, you have to do it before that. And then what happens is the confidence will build, and then you'll find your voice, and then you'll be off to the races. Okay, good. Thank you so much for coming to the RocketGirl Show. I'm thrilled that you're here. I appreciate all of you coming. We have Frederica's from Amsterdam, and Linda's here. MJ's here, Heather and Elle, and I believe that's George from Charlotte, North Carolina. So thank you for coming, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.